Hello, everybody. Xabio Arts Boy here. This is the first official podcast that I'm doing, and I say podcast with little air quotes because it's really just an excuse for me to talk to people that I wouldn't normally be able to talk to. Because just as a regular person, you go, "Hey, can you spare an hour? I want to talk to you." And they'd be like, "Who is this guy?" But then you're like, "Hey, can you be a guest on my podcast?" They're like, "All right, fine, I guess." So this first guy, art YouTuber by the name of JollyArts, he's got really, really, really amazing art. I'll talk about it later. But when you put in his name to YouTube, the first thing that comes up is JollyArts roasting ZHC. So him and ZHC had a little bit of beef before, but they've since deleted their videos that they made about each other, and now their beef has turned into a frozen patty. So we'll see where that goes. Hopefully it stays in the freezer. Oh, man. How cool would that be if they just got in a big fight again? Sorry, I don't actually mean that. I do. And also in the background, I'm going to be putting JollyArts' what's it called? His speed drawings and speed paintings in the background. What's up, IT Senpai?
Hey, are you recording?
No, you're good.
Oh, good. I need to interrupt a recording.
Oh, you want to talk about how your potty went?
It's way too frequent for a healthy person. How about that?
At least you didn't have a kidney stone.
That's true. That's true. I'm not a father yet.
That's right.
Kidney stones.
I'm a dad, guys. Oh, man, dude. That kidney stone was bad.
Dude, I feel for you, dude. I've been around people that had kidney stones that hurt me while they were...
That's like saying, I've been around somebody who knew a black person. I'm not racist.
Dude, I know at least 3 Latinos.
I know this one guy. I'm pretty sure he's gay, so I'm totally not misogynistic.
And you know, my mom was a woman. So
my mom was a woman.
Yeah, my mom is a woman, and so I can't be misogynistic.
Yeah, well, that would take care of your misogyny and also your transphobia.
Right. If I had used
if your mom was
grammar,
a woman.
right? Of course, I use bad grammar. So.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
My mom was a pronoun until she became an object. But then that's just objectifying women.
Literally, dude.
Don't objectify your women.
Dude, that's
pronoun them.
Evil, man. Freaking evil.
To objectify them?
Yes.
Look at this woman.
I've transformed it into a woman.
Off with a hand!
I'll get it on my way out.
Oh, okay. Thanks, man.
All right, brother.
See you, man.
See ya. Glad I could ruin your recording for you.
Heck yeah. All right. Take care. Have a good day. All right. Enjoy my dumb podcast with JollyArts. Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, warrior cats of all genders, this is a podcast that is meant to be listened to while you're drawing, or if you have a time to kill, I guess. But right now I'm with Emmanuel, who goes by JollyArts. Jolly, you can call him Jolly. Yeah. Jolly old Saint Nick does drawing videos on YouTube, and oh my goodness, he is so talented. I'll put some of his drawings and paintings on the screen right now, but man, his anime style is I think something that sets him apart, but also he's super good with realistic stuff, photorealism. So very versatile artist. You're welcome, my senpai. First thing, let's see. The first thing that I would want to ask you is, first of all, how old are you?
Well, I'm currently 20 years old.
I knew that. I actually did. I just wanted you to say it.
But I've been drawing for, I don't know. That's seriously, from, I don't know, 12, 13 maybe.
I think that's when a lot of people... Did you get into anime at that age?
I think so, yeah.
Wait, how old were you when you started to really get into anime, into the weeb territory?
I think one of the first things that I started drawing, when I was really young, I drew like, I don't know. I used to copy a lot of Dragon Ball. That was a really
Yep.
popular thing that I did. I mean, so it was a very popular thing in general. So, I mean, I don't know. I used to copy a lot of Dragon Ball. Like I used to trace, and yeah,
Yeah, I did too.
I've mentioned this many times, but yeah, before I actually used to trace, and to be honest with you, I think it's a really good way to learn at first.
Yeah, nothing wrong with tracing, guys.
Yeah. So don't feel bad if if you're tracing. I'm like, oh, is it cheating? Well, I mean, depends on how you look at it, but I feel it's a really good way to learn and see how other people do it. Like if the purpose is to learn, I feel like it's perfect.
The purpose is to learn. You can do basically whatever you want. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
I think the only problem comes in when you say, like, this is my artwork and it's nobody else's.
Exactly. Unless you don't share it as your own. You just give the artist proper credit. As long as you don't share it as your own artwork, I think it's probably fine. Like,
I have a weird opinion on that. I think if you're like a kid who's like learning how to draw and they're like posting their first serious drawings on the internet, and they post like a Dragon Ball Z thing that they traced or whatever, or copied from another artist, I don't think you need to credit. I think it's fine. Just if you're just posting your practice, I don't see what the big deal is.
Yeah.
Now, if you're making like an art account and you're like, hey guys, I'm an artist and this is my artwork, then you should probably credit. But if it's just like, if you're just like, oh hi,
I mean, well, I feel like if
my
it's
personal
like
account,
like an official artwork, straight from the anime, I feel like you don't need to, mention credit. I mean, everybody copies from reference all the time, but I feel like if you're copying from like an actual artist, somebody that actually made like an original artwork, I feel like you should give proper credit, like from copying from that reference.
But actually, I remember drawing a lot of other artists' artwork, like tracing over the top of it and stuff, and I had no idea who it was from.
Yeah, I mean, me neither. I mean, I don't think anybody cares about,
My opinion, if you have like a personal account and you're just putting it up there just to be like, hey, this is what I'm practicing right now, then I don't think it matters. I think it only matters if like you call yourself an artist and like you're trying to grow your art page or something.
Yeah.
Then you need to do the work to find who it is. But
and at first, I do encourage people to copy from references and stuff. I mean, it's super helpful.
Totally.
I mean, to be honest with you, I feel it's one of the best ways to learn is to copy from other, from masters, from really good artists. And, try to grow as well, because, that's one thing that social media loves is, people that copy from reference and stuff like that. So at first, I do encourage you to do that, but eventually try to branch out and make your own artwork. And that's kind of in this stage that I am right now, I'm trying to out? Like what do you call it, like not switch but transition, that's a word, from that, transition from copying from reference and trying to make a lot of original artwork. I'm like right in the middle, right there, and I'm not the best at making original artworks yet, but I'm hoping to to eventually make a lot of good original artwork.
What do you think? It's tough drawing from imagination. Do you still use references, or is it just all from?
Okay. Now, I feel like even if you make like an original artwork, you always have to use reference. I feel like nobody is like that imaginative, to actually imagine, what you want to draw. I feel like you have to get inspired. You have to look, I don't know, photos, stuff like that, trying to get shape language and stuff like that,
Yeah.
And
except I do know one artist,
but trying to like pick some stuff here and there. And whenever I make an original artwork, I actually have like a crap ton of reference on my screen, like just picking like little stuff from this one, from that one, and I feel like that's pretty much how anybody makes original artwork, is from that way, I don't know,
like putting up a big collage of references. Yeah, I've seen a lot of other professionals do that. I do that too. I
feel everybody does that.
Yeah, I think you should. I do know one
unless you're
artist
like
who doesn't need
super.
reference though.
What?
What?
I'm saying like unless you're like like a super artist, I feel like everybody needs to do that.
Yeah, I agree. I know one person who is a super artist that can draw with their imagination.
Who?
Only. I think his name is Kim Jung-gi.
Oh.
Proco did a beautiful like documentary type video about him. Oh my gosh, I'll link it in the description because it's beautiful. This guy can just draw for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to put down any framework or like construction lines or anything. He just draws, and he'll draw these giant murals. It's beautiful.
But I feel like that kind of people have spent a lot of time perfecting one thing, you know?
That's true.
Like they spend an enormous amount of time perfecting one thing, and they have that kind of like you know, down. Like whenever it's like automatic whenever they start making something like that, you know. So, but if you like tell the person to draw something else, like I don't know, anything else. If somebody I don't know is amazing at drawing faces, for example, and you know he doesn't need to use reference because you know the person draws a lot of faces and is perfect at that. But if you tell the person to draw I don't know a leg, for example, I feel like the person won't be so good at that, you know.
Yeah, I can see that. There's a lot of people that get stuck in their own style, which is not necessarily a bad thing.
But I feel like a lot of people that are really good at something, I feel like they spent a lot of time perfecting that certain thing. Like I've seen that
going
with
all in
portraits
on one
and stuff. Like people that are super amazing at drawing realism, for example.
Yeah. Oh, it reminds me of that one meme where it was like this classic portrait and the horse's face is all messed up and he's like, "Do you know how to draw a horse?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen a horse before." And he just drew the horse like a disfigured human face. So you could tell that this guy or girl, but it was probably a guy back then, only knew how to paint the stuff that he did. Whenever he was, and then when he was asked to paint a horse, he was like, "Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
How hard can it be?" Yeah, you know that guy didn't have a reference for that. It's like drawing Pokemon from memory.
Whoa, yeah.
That whole trend that went on, you know?
That's impressive.
I know that you do amazing photorealistic stuff,
Thank
but
you.
also your anime, and I was saying this before when we were talking before we recorded, that a lot of people when they draw anime, it doesn't look like authentic anime, but when you do it, I don't know, that there's that essence that you know that when you see something, you're like, oh, okay, that's a Japanese artist. You kind of have that. So I'm wondering how you were able to do that, because that's something I struggle with when I do anime. It's hard.
I don't know. I feel like I've spent a lot of time perfecting that, trying to imitate that style. So yeah, it's just I just
how, though?
draw a lot of anime. You know, I love the style.
Practice?
I feel it's a pretty cool style. And for the longest time I've tried my best to imitate it. And yeah, I guess that's how I got it. And
but how specifically though? Because you say you just consumed a lot of anime and done a lot of practice.
I spent a lot of time studying how it looks, you know.
How would one go about studying that?
What?
How would somebody go about studying that?
I mean,
though?
it's just trial and error. I mean, over time you see your errors, and you know, sometimes you're like, this doesn't look right, and you know, you want to like pause and like actually see like what the error is. And it's something that, you know, you get something like that over time. You know, it's not something that happens once or twice. I mean, beginner artists really they don't notice their errors. You know, beginner artists think their
you develop an
cool,
eye for it later.
They don't notice. They don't know what to improve on. You know, but somebody that spent a lot of time drawing will immediately notice the errors. You know, and tell them, hey, there's something wrong here, and this is it. You know. So yeah, I mean, it's over time. At first, I wasn't perfect, and eventually I started noticing something that's off. At first you might not notice what it is, but the more you practice, you're like, oh, it's the eyes. It's the eyes. The eyes are not right, and stuff like that. Just over time, trying to be better at it.
Is that why we usually hate our old artwork?
I think it is, yeah, because at first you don't notice the errors, and then over time you're super sensitive to the errors. And so I feel like once you see the old artwork, it's pretty bad.
Here's something I want to ask you about. I feel like artists see things differently than non-artists because, like, I'll look at a tree and somebody goes, hey, that's a tree. And then they'll be like, no, what is it, though? And you'll be like, an oak tree? But with an artist, they can go on and on and on about all the little details, all the ways the light reflects off of stuff.
We focus a lot on detail. That's one thing that we do. We spend a lot of time focusing on detail and trying to get it right. So I don't know, like little details on people's faces, like that normal people might not notice. We might notice it, because we spend a lot of time drawing faces, for example, trying to get the details right. And sometimes it might be like, oh, your ear's a little bit, I don't know, it's not totally straight, stuff like that. Or your eyes are not super balanced, or I don't know, like little things that people won't notice. Normal people won't notice. We notice super easily because we spend a lot of time with it,
Yeah, we've kind of trained our eyes to do that with our drawings, to dissect them.
Yes.
I find myself always going, like, wherever I am at any given point of the day, I'm always, like, taking little mental snapshots. I'm like an Asian tourist just taking pictures of everything, trying to save it in my visual library for later. I'm like, okay.
That's a good exercise.
It's constant, though. I can't turn it off. Like right now, I'm looking at my pen, and I'm like, okay, so there's bounce light coming from both directions, and there's a highlight going up the middle. That's interesting. It looks like a watermelon.
Okay.
And to me, it makes perfect sense, and to everybody else, they're like, wait, bounce light, watermelon, pen, what?
Yeah.
But no, I got it. So if I needed to paint this pen now, I'd know exactly how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? This will roll right into another thing I want to talk to you about, which is perfectionism. Because I feel like having an eye for art goes hand in hand with trying to be perfect. Cause
this is something that I brought up, I think. Yeah.
This was one of your ideas to talk about.
I mentioned that. Does being an artist make you want to make everything perfect, like OCD? Like, does being an artist make you have OCD? Because when you're an artist, you always want to make things look right, and when something doesn't look right, you always want to, like, constantly erase, try it again, stuff like that. So it's an interesting idea that I had. Like, is it true that being an artist makes you have obsessive compulsive disorder, like, with everything, not just art? Because it's something that I've noticed that transfers to everything that I do, not just art.
Really? How so?
With, I don't know, like watching TV, for example. Like, I don't know, like if I missed something on TV, I want to, like, go back. I don't know, just little details, like, like.
You think it's connected to your art?
Yes, I feel like the obsessiveness to always want to make things perfect, it's something that transfers to your core, not just art, I feel like. So you'll always constantly trying to make things perfect. Like, I don't know, if you see somebody on the street that the color isn't right, you want to make the color, you want to try to, I don't know, is it just me? It's something that I thought I would talk about, because it's not something that anybody has ever mentioned, and I feel it's interesting. It's an interesting topic. I don't know if it's just me or it's generic or whatever, but I've noticed that whenever I do anything, it kind of transfers to whatever I do.
Yeah.
What do you think?
If anybody's watching this right now, notice how I said if anybody is watching this. If there's one person left watching this, comment in the comments if that's happened to you, if you found that you are getting more OCD about everything because of his
Mhm.
drawings. Because personally, I don't have that problem.
No.
I can be a perfectionist with my art, but I don't have that problem in
Okay.
real life. But yeah, I'm wondering why
Yeah.
why it's been affecting you so much in other areas of your life. I
Yeah.
have no idea. Actually, I think art is like the one thing that I'm super anal about.
And I've also noticed this in photography. Like whenever, like it's actually super perfect in photography because whenever you want to make a shot, like you always want whatever you're capturing to be in the shot, you know. And if something that is not what you want suddenly appears in the shot, you always want to, you know, try your best to remove that. And I'm always super picky about that. And I feel like that has really affected me in a sense because I always want to make things perfect, you know, trying to make the shot perfect, trying to make everything perfect, especially in photography. I've noticed it pretty off, like a lot.
I can see that because I've known some photographers that are very, very, very particular, and yeah, I don't. It's weird because on one hand, I feel like that's totally an artist thing to want to make everything perfect, and you know, in their vision, type of thing. Like, no, I'm an artist. I have a vision, but also at the same time, I don't really have that with a lot of other stuff. So I don't know if it's just you or if it's a common thing then, and I'm the weird one. You know, I have
don't
no
know.
idea.
I just
And
thought it was.
what's your take on artists that do make messy work?
What?
What's your take on artists whose style is very messy? Do you think they have that same thing with perfectionism?
In their way, I think so. Yeah,
Because
because
they're trying to make the perfect mess?
yeah, they're trying to make imperfection, and you know, I don't know. Somebody might have a certain style, and you know, the style doesn't just come just like that. You know, you have to always get into it and trying to get that specific look. You know.
Maybe we don't have OCD necessarily, but maybe there's a message that artists want to convey, and they're very particular about making sure that it comes across the way that they intend. Because even like Jackson Pollock, who just he does splatter paintings, he does it
Yeah.
in a very specific way.
Exactly, and he's
So you could look at that and you'd be like, it looks like a big mess on the floor, but
Yes. But he's pursuing a certain appeal, you know. It's not
Yeah.
it's not just paint on the floor. He's actually putting in time to make it look how he wants it to look. You know?
Exactly. And speaking of your photography, I wanted to, before we move too far past photography, I want to talk to you about that because, so to everyone listening, I want to tell you that, so this guy, Mr. JollyArts, is amazing artist, does amazing anime, manga drawings, super photorealistic graphite drawing, or charcoal, I don't know, whatever.
I use whatever. Actually, use
But
both,
then, yeah. What was that Jon Snow thing, or whatever his
pencil.
name was?
Just
Pencil.
straight up pencil.
That was
yeah. It wasn't
just straight up
anything-
pencil?
Yeah.
Oh God, you're a legend.
It
man.
wasn't. It wasn't anything. I actually don't own that many weird materials. Like I use standard stuff, regular pencils, like erasers. Like that's it. I mean, I'm
Do
not.
you have
that rich,
anything
to
special?
be able to be getting super specific stuff? What?
Is there anything that you're very particular about when it comes to art supplies?
I don't think I am. No.
Because like some people, they might be like, oh, I use whatever, but this is the only eraser that I will buy because it works perfect.
I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, if you've used a certain material for a period of time, you're attached to it. You know, so you always want to get that specific thing. But I feel like you're able to make art with anything. To be honest, like as long as you give it a chance, I feel like you're able to make art with anything. Just keep at it, and you'll. I feel like once you're like getting to know the material, just get at it.
Just get used to it.
What?
Just whatever you use, when you get used to it, you get used to it.
Yeah, exactly. Like whatever you use, and if it's not the material that you used to use, I don't know, it might work a certain way. You know, it might not work the way that you want to, but you might actually achieve a similar result just by doing something else with it. You know, it's something that you have to like, you know, get used to. You know, so I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like you can make good art with anything, like whatever eraser, whatever pencil. Just
what kind of pencil?
What?
What kind of pencil did you use for that Jon Snow one, or whatever
Faber-Castell.
his name is?
Just Faber-Castell pencils.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or Faber-Castell. I don't know how people pronounce it.
I don't know. Fibre.
Fibre Castelle.
Fibre Castelle.
But yeah, that's the pencil that I use, and I feel like a lot of people use that kind of pencil. I mean, it's nothing.
What you're saying makes sense though, because when I started this channel and I was using terrible art supplies and like broken pencils and stuff just to show that you can make art from anything. Now I've gotten so used to doing it that I don't use anything else.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're used to the materials and you know how to get what you're pursuing, you know, just.
I use erasers from the Dollar Tree.
Yeah.
From the dollar
You can
store.
use whatever, man. Like.
Yeah. Okay, so back to photography. So you have these amazing drawings.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, Boo. Boo. I'll call you Bobo there. You'll be Bobo, I'll be Boo Boo.
Awesome.
That's the cringiest thing I've ever said in my entire life. All right, so but I noticed you kind of switched to photography, and it seems like you've been really hitting that hard, because I'll pull up some of these images that he's gone through, or that he's done, but I was so shocked by how good your photography was.
Thank you.
Because when you told me that you were kind of making the switch, I was like, oh, okay, he's going to take pictures. No, like, you are a photographer. So, how did that happen? Have you always been into it, or did something just come up?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I feel like I've always been into just visual art in general. Like, just trying to make something good. Like, I don't know.
You like making pretty things?
Yeah, like visually, like editing, art, drawing, anything that looks professional. Like I think that's the word that I would like use. Like I've always tried to make things look professional, like trying to make things look polished, and in whatever what's it called, like skill that I pursue, I always trying to get to that, you know. I always try to get that result, like really polished.
I'm pulling up your Instagram right now. You have, my goodness.
Yeah, that's an animation that's a test animation.
Wow.
A background animation. Yeah, I want to get into that. I want to start making anime short films, like just anime shorts.
And look at this, Jesus.
And that's what I'm talking about. I always try to get that professional look. I feel like that's what I always try to get.
This looks like a scene from an anime who had like $1 billion to blow on their animation budget. Jeez, man, I would love to see an entire anime like that. Oh, because you did it from a photo reference. Okay, yeah. I'm looking at the other one right now.
Yeah, right now I'm repainting a lot of photography. Because
I see that in the city one.
It's something that a lot of animators do. I've noticed.
Yep.
Like a lot of like I don't know if you know who Makoto Shinkai is, but he's like pretty much 100% of his scenes or photographies that he repainted. So yeah, I don't know if it's 100%. I mean, don't quote me on that, but I feel like most of his scenes are photos. So he repaints them to make it look like an anime. So I want to.
And you painted. Sorry, go ahead.
No, and I want to also pursue that. I want to, I look up to those kind of people. So I feel like that skill is something that I feel like I need to get, you know. So I'm trying to do that. So recently I've been doing a lot of that.
I like it a lot. I think there's a lot of the artists,
That's an oil
like
paint.
concept
That's not-
artists and stuff. What?
That's an oil paint.
Oh, I know. I was going to ask you about that in a second, but I'm just saying a lot of concept artists and stuff, they rarely do things from imagination. They either start with like a basic 3D thing to like block in shapes, or they start with photo collage or like photo bashing or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So this oil on canvas, I had no idea that you could oil paint, dude.
I
Since when?
didn't either.
What?
I didn't either.
How many other oil paintings have you done besides this one?
Not that many. I started a year
How
ago,
the-
I think, or 2 years ago.
How do you make that in just a year of doing oil painting?
I don't know. I don't know. Again,
Well, you
as
got
I
to share
mentioned,
something with us, because
I
we're
feel
all
like
looking at this and we're
once
like, I
you-
want that.
once you perfect the skill, I feel like you can make art with anything, and I feel like this shows that. Like I literally started painting like a year ago. Like that was the very first time that I started oil painting. Like I did not know a single thing about oil paints. I even thought that they dried super quickly. That so yeah. I mean, what?
What? No, I just laughing. Go
Oh,
ahead. Keep talking.
No, I mean, yeah, I knew absolutely nothing about it, but you know, I feel like with once you know how to draw, or just art, once you know how to make art, I feel like you can make it with any material. That's my take on it.
I don't know.
As long
man.
as
I
you
think-
spend time with it and trying to know the material. If you're not willing to know it, I feel like you won't be able to. Like trying
also
to use it to get what you're trying to make, you know? Like just grind at it, you know?
So just don't stop.
Just get to know it. Get to know
But I feel like there's a
the
lot of
materials.
artists who can't do this.
What?
They can. I feel like there's a lot of artists that cannot do this. That couldn't
know.
just take another medium and make it good.
That's my take on it. I feel like you can make art with anything, as long as you know what you're trying to make. I mean, at first, obviously, I wasn't like this, and I was getting to know the materials, and I was super frustrated with it. But you eventually get to know it, and you start to see things that work, and things that don't work over time, and that's it.
Wow, that's gorgeous.
And yeah, I actually think I will almost I don't think I'm gonna oil paint for a long time, to be honest. I think that was the last oil paint, because painting is a very, very expensive hobby. You don't know how expensive oil paints are.
That is true, and it can be dangerous
And also
too
canvases. I mean,
have
dangerous. I mean, I don't think so,
ventilation.
but I mean,
Yeah,
the
if you don't have proper
turpentine,
ventilation.
Turpentine, what you use instead of water for oil paints, because water doesn't mix with oils. So
Right, yeah.
you use turpentine. That is toxic. So if you spend a lot of time with it, you can,
Yeah, I've heard that. That's probably why all the artists back then were super
Yeah.
kind of crazy. Jeez, look at this. Is this Jon Snow?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Jon Snow.
That's such a weird name. I'm Jon Snow. Sounds like he needed a fake name and he tried to think of something really quick. I can't be John Doe. I'll be Jon Snow.
Well, you have to watch it to know why his name Jon Snow.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't watched Game of Thrones. Jeez, look at this. Yeah, I know. If you just see this, you'll be like, oh, he took that from, it's like a screenshot. But then, no. He really did. He really did do all this. Jeez, man. I like how you can take a reference and just... I think what you do with your repaints, taking a photo and then painting on top of it, you take what's in the photo, and I think in your imagination, you're like, this is what I see,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm going to paint it like that.
Yeah.
And so, we're looking at this one, the train scene has a completely different vibe at the bottom, but it's very cohesive. And with real life, there's not a lot of cohesion all the time. But this one, it's like something straight out of Polar Express, like bonus art that you get with your collector's edition thing or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that's mostly it. I mean, just try to imagine how you would see a photo like that, you know?
Yeah, and this one too, dude. You took the stuff that was literally in the photo and you just changed the Bible.
I actually really like that one.
I do too.
It's actually one of my favorites.
The depth of the shine going into the background is so good.
Yeah, I just
that,
wish I could be there. You know, like that's what
exactly.
what I love about anime art. You know, you want to be there. You know, and that's what you wanna. That's what you want to make. That's what you want to portray to people. Like trying your best to make people feel something. You know, with the art.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like that's what drives me in a sense. To make like background art, because I really love background art.
So what would be your ideal thing if you could do something like for the rest of your, like money wasn't an option, nobody could stop you, what would be your thing that you would get up and be excited to do every day?
See, the thing is, me personally, like as you've noticed, like I don't settle with one thing. Because I don't know, I feel like you get bored with one thing, you know.
So would you have a job that allows you to do everything?
Yeah, I mean, if that was an option, absolutely, you know. But you know, I mean, that you don't always get that. I feel like you have to get a specific job, you know. If you want to be a portrait artist, you have to get, you know, jobs from that, you know, portrait art.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I were to choose one thing, I feel like it would be background art, because I don't think any other sort of medium or any other art style, I don't know, has touched me the way background art touches me, you know. I feel like
interesting.
I don't know, it's an emotional thing.
Studios would love you because so many people want to be a character artist, character designer. Not as many people want to be background artists.
Oh, well, I love it. I really do.
And I'm telling you, like the forest one that you did, that one, I can totally see like putting some anime characters in there and animating them walking walking the trail.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I guess the rays of sun. I mean, you can't get that with portraits. I mean, that feeling, that I wouldn't say nostalgic feeling, but I don't know. Like,
have you thought about working for an animation studio?
Yeah, I hope to eventually work in an animation studio. I mean, that's a dream.
You're definitely good enough. The only thing I think that you
Japanese.
would have to... What?
The Japanese. I have to learn Japanese.
Oh, you're going to go work in the Japanese anime art studio?
Yeah. I mean, anime. Like, I love anime art, so I feel like it's an anime studio. So a Japanese studio.
Cool. So all you need to do is know Japanese and know somebody in the industry. Easy.
Or just make art until somebody notices you. That's what I try to do.
That's true.
So.
No, I bet that there are some. Let's see. You speak English and Spanish, right?
Yeah.
Do you any other languages, or is that just the two?
Both of them.
Ugh, that's it. You only speak two languages. Wow.
But I speak both of them natively, so like I don't have a problem speaking any of them.
And dude, you get to America and you're like, "What language do you speak?" We're like, "English, but barely." Yeah. No, I'm sure that there's some anime studios that are English or Spanish speaking.
I mean, I'll get it to that. I mean, first I am focusing on studies right now.
I would just. I would love to hear the news where you're like, hey, Andrew, I guess what? I just got a job with this and this company. Oh, man, I'm going to be so happy when that happens.
You'll be the first one to know. Don't worry.
Oh, man. Because looking at this type of stuff, I'm like, it's like one of those things where you see somebody who has all this good stuff ahead of them, and you're just like, just come on. Get your big break already, man.
Yeah. I mean, it'll come. Like, to be honest with you, right now I am done focusing on numbers and stuff like that. Like, I legit do not care at all right now. Like,
Cool.
I'm losing followers, like, on Instagram. And I don't care. Like, I don't care anymore.
You can't be wrapped up in...
I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna make art because I love making art, and that's it. Like, people
like
don't
that.
really understand that. Like,
It takes a lot of guts. Some giant balls to do that. For real, it's so easy to be like, oh, hey, women portrait faces get a lot of likes, so that's what I'm going to draw.
I'm not gonna focus on one thing.
Yeah, you're following your path and your interests. Perfect.
I mean, before I've tried, and before obviously I was super obsessed with numbers and stuff, and it's not healthy. It's not.
No.
And once you don't get the numbers that you think you deserve, you get super depressed. I mean, it's not worth the trouble. Like, just forget it. Just make art. That's it.
Yeah, just make what you want, and if it's bad and nobody likes it, who cares?
Yeah.
If you're doing the stuff that you like, then do it.
Exactly.
I see that with you with making these background drawings and all this stuff. I'm like, it's so cool to see you not going for the likes like so many other people do. I find that a lot of times, like, I'll follow an artist when they're up and coming, and then I'll just abandon them as they're like on the rise because
they just make the same thing over and over again. I mean, to a point it gets boring. Like, at
Yeah,
first you'll be like, oh, it's super inspiring and stuff, but over time you'll start to notice that it's getting a little bit old, and you lose interest very, very easily.
Yeah, I like seeing people get really excited about what they're doing. Like, even if it's not something that I care about, like, let's say there was some dude who was very passionate about breeding ostriches. Now, if you had somebody who just put their passion out there, and you could see and you could feel through the screen how much they loved ostriches, I said, right? Yeah, if you could just feel that, that's 10,000 times more interesting than somebody chasing likes in a topic that I am familiar with,
Yeah. Exactly. Just try to make people feel something, Like, show your passion through your artwork.
So I got another topic, which this one came from you as well. Can you forget how to draw? What do you think?
Yep.
You think so for sure, definitely?
Do you want me to ask you now? Because I feel like, I don't know. Should we, like, cut it from here? Like, how long have we been going? Like,
we've been going for 43 minutes.
Do you think that's enough for your video, or do you want to finish the entire thing?
We can, you know what? It's enough for my video. Anywhere from like a half hour to an hour, I think, is where I want to keep it. But it doesn't matter. I don't care if we run long.
Okay, let's just continue. Sure.
But I do want to know what you think about this.
Okay, what was it?
Yeah, we'll try to hit like the hour mark.
Okay.
Or anywhere.
But I don't know what I'm gonna ask you.
Oh, you don't have to ask me anything. I thought these were all just topics that we were talking about. Yeah, you don't have to. No pressure on you, man.
Okay.
You're my guest. You talk about whatever you want to talk about. And if you don't know and you wanted me to just prompt you, then I'll do that for you too. That's fine.
All right.
Wow, that was hard to get through that sentence. I don't know why. I was like running out of breath. Okay, can you forget how to draw? You said absolutely yes.
I feel like you have to look at it as a skill, you know. Once you're in a I don't know, rhythm,
Mm-hmm.
you're used to it. You're used to that rhythm all the time. But I feel like once you stop, with that, I feel like you kind of forget a little bit. You might not forget 100%. But I feel like you get a little bit sloppy. You're not how you used to be. And I feel like it's the same with any skill. If you're
Exactly,
an amazing guitar player, for example, and all of a sudden you stop playing guitar, and then a year later you come back. I mean, you're not gonna be the same like you were before, obviously. So
yeah, you're gonna have to work back up to it.
Yeah, but you won't forget, but I feel like you won't be as good as you were before.
Mm.
But I don't know why, but I feel like if you take a long break, and this is something that I've noticed with me, like if you take a long break and you come back to it, you're more pumped for like to make the artwork, and
Yeah, because you missed it.
What?
Yeah, because you missed it.
Yeah,
I miss drawing.
You try your best to make it the best artwork possible. That is something that I've noticed recently. Like not recently, like all the time. Like whenever I stopped something that I love and I go back to it, I feel like you don't look at it the same. You will try your best to make it the best artwork, because I don't know. Is it something that you've noticed before? Like I don't know.
Yeah, there are so many times when I go a few days or a week or two without drawing. And yeah, I come back to it. I'm like, why did I stop drawing? I'm so excited. Now I finally get to draw again. Yeah.
And then you draw way better than you did before.
Yeah, and you're like, why? I haven't been practicing.
Yeah.
I kind of have a theory where, like, everybody says, how do you get good at drawing? Oh, you just practice. Well, that doesn't always help. It's like, what is that saying? It's like practice makes permanent, not perfect, or whatever. It's like, you also have to know what you're practicing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's common sense.
It's like if you're exercising and you're doing the exercises wrong, yeah, you'll technically have like stronger abs or whatever, but you weren't working your muscles as efficiently as you could have been, and you could have gotten those results in a quarter of the time. And it might have been healthier for you because you would have been in a, had proper posture or whatever. I don't know. But I feel like it's that same way with art. Like, you can practice and practice and practice, and you can get really good at making the dumb stuff that you make. Or you can, the best thing that I've found is to get out of your comfort zone and to draw stuff like, whenever I make my big strides in art, it's when I am drawing something that I know I'm going to suck at, and I know it's going to be like really bad for like the first 10 drawings that I do. And like the 10 high effort drawings I spend hours on. And so like for example, like perspective or foreshortening or something like that. Like I know it'll just be terrible, but then eventually you'll work that up. And then the stuff that you learn from that transitions into the stuff that you're already familiar with. It's weird.
Yep.
Do you have any general art advice for people?
I don't think it's anything that I haven't mentioned before, to be honest.
Okay. Because I feel like anybody who's actually watching this whole thing is either somebody who's really super dedicated to art, and they're just hungry for any piece of information that they can find, or that's pretty much it. So if you're watching this right now and you're like, I don't know what I want to do, I just know that I love art and I love drawing, I think my piece of advice would be, don't let yourself have any negative self-talk, don't let yourself like be your own bully. That's something I struggle with a lot because, it's really easy after you make a bad drawing to be like, I suck. But, say you have like a really awesome friend that you're supporting. How would you talk to them? You'd be like, no. I mean, yes, that drawing sucks. But it doesn't mean that you suck. And then you know, use kind words and support them. And I think you should talk to yourself the way that you would talk to a best friend who's going through the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like I would never tell a little kid who sucks at drawing, I'd be like, okay, well, I can clearly see that you love drawing, but you're not that good, so you should just stop. It's no, you want that 5-year-old to make 10,000 bad drawings.
Yep.
Because you look at them coloring on the floor with their crayons, and you're like, that is precious. I love that they're just doing that for fun. They don't care. So for anybody out there, just if you like drawing, draw. And don't worry about getting better, because...
Just keep at it, you know?
Yeah.
I always say this, like, I think I've mentioned this, like, in our last collab, like...
Your catchpatch?
Yeah,
Are you going there? I knew it.
My ending catchphrase is, like, do what you love, never stop drawing. Like, just never stop drawing.
That's right.
Like, if you love drawing and you know that you love drawing, just don't stop, you know? Doesn't... I don't know.
And this goes for anything, not just drawing, but let's say you're really into collecting SpongeBob memorabilia. It's like, if you really love that, do it.
Yeah, just keep at it.
There are, especially in this age of the internet right now, you can find a way to monetize anything. You could make that your living if you wanted to. If collecting SpongeBob cups is your thing, then do it. Just put everything into it and don't let anybody say that you're doing it wrong. Because at the end of the day, like, you know, what defines success? To some people, it's money, power, stuff like that. But to me, success is just happiness. So if you're poor and you're happy, you're successful, in my opinion.
That's the I feel that's the only way to just keep going. It's to be happy.
I'd rather be a happy bum than a sad rich person.
Yep. That happens a lot with a lot of influencers and stuff. Like, they're not happy with what they have because, you know, they don't have the right state of mind, you know. They can't get you can't get happiness with money. I feel like that's the what you can't get with money. I feel it's way more valuable than money, you know.
Yeah.
And
you know what else I think, with a lot of kids watching these videos of people spending a bunch of money and being very materialistic, I think these kids are growing up thinking that they need that to be happy, because the YouTubers that they're watching and Instagram
they look
people
happy.
and all that, they look so happy.
Just
they show you whatever they want to show you.
Yes, I mean, they show you what they want to
Even
show
me.
you. They don't show you what's behind.
Us too. Yeah.
What's behind that smile, you know?
Exactly. You and I we only show people what we want to show.
True. And I feel like I want to change that a little bit, you know, like, and I want to be transparent. I want to talk about whatever, and, you know, just topics that I just have in my head, you know. And even if it's not the best topic to talk about, you know, it's just something that
we need more people not trying to pretend that they're happy, or like prove that they're happy.
Exactly. And, you know, I'm not always happy, you know, and if I'm not happy, I'm gonna show it. I'm gonna tell you guys about it, you know.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you get these like middle schoolers, high schoolers going through a tough time in their life because, you know, they're dealing with puberty and all this school drama and stuff. And, you know, when you're in middle school and high school, you know, something that happens in the school, it's like that, it literally is the end of the world, because that is your world.
Yeah.
You know, I think Bo Burnham he did a good job showing that in his movie 8th Grade. Yeah, so when you get these kids who are, you know, going through these tough times and stuff, and they use YouTube as an escape, which is fine, but then they see these people who are so happy and rich and successful, and they go, oh man, how do I get to be like that? I want to be happy too. Maybe I need to be rich. And then,
Yeah.
you know, it's little do they know that even though these people have money and are showing you how happy they are all the time, they're not always happy all the time. Everybody's human.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's frustrating for me. Because even one of my friends was saying, like, I've been watching some like of this YouTuber, and it just makes me want to be rich. And I'm like, dude, no, please, not you. Please.
Yeah. Especially now that the internet is so big and so many people are influenced by these high people, the celebrities and stuff, like influencers.
They're influenced by influencers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay. Now I think you touched something interesting. I feel like what they're influencing, it's not always the best thing,
Yeah.
Like,
and it's not always bad either. But we definitely
What?
need more. I said it's not always bad either. But
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we definitely need more people being honest about the ups and the downs, because, there's a lot of misconceptions about people who have money being happy. If you notice, like in America, a lot of the people here are very unhappy because they're part of that rat race, that 9 to 5, working for
Yes.
somebody else.
That is one difference
living.
from European people and American people. I feel
Yes, because
like-
you're in Europe, right? You live in Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys, there's a saying, like, you guys live to work, and here we work to live. No, is it the opposite? I think it's the opposite. Wait.
Live to work and work to live.
Yes. Like, one lives to work and the other one works to live.
Yeah. Yeah. So like here.
Yeah,
it's
you
like you're
guys
just-
live to work. Like,
Yes.
all you do is work,
Yes.
work, right?
Yep.
And here we work to live. Like, it's, I don't know. I don't even know if that makes sense, but
Yeah. We work in jobs that we hate so that we can,
Just keep
have
going.
fun on the weekends and fantasize about a different life.
mm-hmm.
Whereas, just I wish that everybody could find something that they're passionate about and make that their career.
Yeah,
Because there are so many people who work a job that they hate just for the money so that they can do their hobby. I wish we could all just do our hobbies for a living.
Do what you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Do what you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life.
Exactly.
You're just working what you love, it's not something that you hate. So if everybody does that, everybody will be happy.
Yeah. And now we have such a huge cloud of sadness and fear over us, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I kind of feel like it's my responsibility to show that people,
Are people.
just to show different sides.
Yeah.
I don't know what the end of this thing is going to be. I don't have like a good point to end on. I don't have anything like that. I just know that the situation that we're in is a little frustrating at times, and I don't know how I can help or make a difference. So every day I'm just asking the universe, like, whatever, like, if there's a way that I can be of service to the rest of the world, then do it, and I'll be your tool to work through,
Yeah.
because I don't know what I can do. All I know is that I like making people smile. So
I just want to inspire people. I just want
yeah.
my emotions to show through my artwork. That's all I want.
And you know what? Following what you like to draw and what you like to do will be the key to doing that. So continuing to not chase likes and stuff, I think that is going to be your the biggest thing that's going to lead you there.
Yeah. Just gonna keep at it.
I love hearing you talk about the stuff that you're into. Actually, I love hearing anybody talk about the stuff that they're into. It makes me want to, do my thing.
I love talking about stuff that I'm passionate about. Like, that's why I'm passionate about it. Like,
When you're talking about those anime backgrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just love it. And, I just, that's another way of, like through podcasts, I also want to try my best to, express what I have in my mind and best way to say it. So, yeah, this is also a good exercise for me because, yeah, I'm getting there, trying to let out what I have in mind. And a lot of the times I'm not the best at saying it, but,
Yeah, it'll come the more you do it.
Yeah, and that's why I want to practice,
Same here. All right, well,
All right.
I think we should end it there.
Yeah, we should. It's been about
anything
an hour.
you want to close on before you go?
Any what?
Anything you want to close on when you go before you go?
No.
Okay, I'll put Jolly's Instagram and YouTube handle right here, and I'll also put it in the description so you can just click that and see some of his stuff. Yeah, his artwork is amazing, and he's really respect him for following what he likes to do, because it takes a lot of guts to do that. It's so easy to get wrapped up in following the likes and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what I like about you, man. You're staying true to who you are.
And I try. I mean, sometimes I deviate and sometimes I do start to care about the likes, but it's something that I'm working on. I'm not perfect. I'm a human being.
There's another example, man. You just let us know one of your flaws. Perfect example.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. Try not to, but it's so easy.
It's so easy, especially if you're into like social media and stuff. Like, it's so easy to focus on the likes. So if a post is not doing well at the beginning of but I try to forget about that. The more I do it, the better I get at it. So.
All right. Well, that was it. If you were drawing while you were watching this video, I want you to take a step back and look at it and admire it, because whether it's good or bad, you made that, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, don't let it, dude, for the people, posting their artwork, just, if somebody responds to it, just take it with, you know what, I was going to get on, a whole big thing. I'll do it in another video. But, yeah, admire your artwork right now. You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Thank you very much, Mr. JollyArts.
No problem.
For coming on my podcast.
Thank you for having me. Whoops.
Of course, come back. I'd love.
It's actually the second time we're doing a podcast.
That's
true.
true.
For those of you who haven't watched the first one, definitely go watch it.
Yeah.
I think
what did we do?
Well, when was it? Like a year ago?
Yeah, it was would you rather questions.
Yeah,
and
that was a
stuff,
lot of
talking
fun. We should do that. We should do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Should do that again.
All right, man.
All right.
Thank you very much. Goodbye, everyone. I'll see you in another one.
See you guys.
Yeah, I wish I had something planned to say goodbye, but I don't. So, see ya.
Bye. Stop recording.
Yes, I'm going to stop recording right now.